This evening's broadcast is brought to you by Home Guys Home Services. Hello, and thank you for joining this evening's broadcast of Port Angeles News. We begin our broadcast tonight with an update of the Parks and Recreation Park Bench program. I joined Director Corey Delicat to get an update on the program.
So back in the early 90s, like a lot of municipalities, the City of Port Angeles Parks and Recreation Department established a memorial and donation program. From that program, it allowed them to sell benches, picnic tables, garbage cans. It gave the community a way to donate back to the city and the city to get amenities to put in their parks and facilities. This is something that was happening throughout the country and was a very popular program. In early 2000s though, the city looked at the program and said, hey, we do not have a formal policy in place for this program. So there was a moratorium put on the program, and in 2008, a new program was established. And instead of going from wooden benches, they went to more of a recycled plastic material. These materials are heavy duty, but they do stand up to vandalism some, but they can be vandalized. So in 2013, when I became director, we kind of put a hold on the entire program until we could really see what we wanted to do. We had a program that started that didn't have a policy, and then we had a program that started that did have a policy, but it was not very successful. So we just kind of put everything on hold until the perfect opportunity came up. And that day happened when Bob Stokes, a local artist and business owner, came into my office and said, I just read a great article about the Composite Recycle Technology Center about this award they won, and what if we look at making a park bench out of their design? Well, Bob, we have worked with Bob in the past, and he has built these aluminum benches that are around the downtown area, West End Park, are very popular. So really it was using his design and coming up with a new bench made out of recycled carbon fiber. So I told Bob, I said, well, let's set up a meeting with CRTC and see what happens. So after several meetings, we had great discussions, and they always put a pet name to the project, and they came up with Project Pigeon, and that's the name is kind of always stuck. And so we went to the council and said, let them know that we were going to work with CRTC and Bob Stokes on a new park bench, and that we were going to use $10,000 of the original revenue funds from the memorial program to base off this program. So we did. We invested the $10,000, and the investment wasn't just for park bench. It was really an investment into the community, and it was an investment into a new local business, and that's what we were really shooting for. They need products to make. It makes more jobs for the community, and we thought it was a great partnership. So on February 20th, we were able to reveal the bench. The bench is obviously made out of recycled carbon fiber. It keeps it out of our landfills, and it's really a durable product, and that's really what we were looking for. Something that can stand up to the weather, the elements, stand up to graffiti, stand up to carving, and it's just got a really nice, classy look to it. I had high expectations to see the first bench, and when I saw it, I was just like, wow, they did an amazing job. So now that we have this bench, we're looking, okay, how can we look at this to redo our memorial and donation program? And so after doing a lot of research, what other communities are doing, they came up with a new Adopt a Bench program. And what we're going to do is for 10 years, you can adopt a bench for X amount of money, and that is your bench. The cool thing is that the plaque, instead of being a brass plaque, is actually a ceramic plaque that you can get a picture of your dog on it, or a picture of your family, or a medallion from the military that you're in. So, and it kind of gives a nice new look and allows allows people to have something sentimental on the bench. We're going that way at Dr. Bench program because it gives us the opportunity later on to give someone else an opportunity to have a bench. You know, we've had our memorial donation program in place for 26 years, and a lot of the benches have been down there between 16 to 26 years. So there's very limited spots. So a lot of people don't get to participate in the program. And what this allows us to do as well is to market this for a business if they wanted to do it. But after 10 years, it allows us to establish additional revenues that can go into capital park projects. And this is something that I thought the Parks and Recreation and Beautification Commission really wanted to see as well. So they've been a big supporter of the project. So when we wrote the policy, we wanted to make sure that there was a lot of people involved because we are realizing that people's benches along the trail are going to go away, and we wanted to make sure that there was no hurt feelings, but it was just time to revamp the program. So one thing that we are continuing to work on is a catalog that kind of shows off our new Adopt a Bench policy and program. It's not completely done yet, so I can't give prices or anything like that, but I can tell you there are prices for people that want to have a new bench that was part of the original program. Will have a discounted price for a new bench to keep them a part of the program. And that's something that was very important to us. We also, one of the original benches that was made from CRTC, we are going to dedicate to the original people that participated in the memorial program. And we may do something different as well as we go along and recognize those people, whether it's a separate monument down on the waterfront trail, because that's where the majority of the benches are. The other thing we want to do is expand our bench program, Adopt a Bench program, into our smaller local parks, neighborhood parks, because we really don't have places for people to sit. And so we kind of are making a map along with our catalog to show the types of places that people can purchase these benches. The other thing we want to do, and why we're waiting just a little bit longer in developing this catalog, is that we are going through our database of all the people who bought original benches, and we don't have a lot of data, but we want to make sure that, one, we send out a letter, and two, that we have limited contact information, but we still want to reach out by phone to these families as well. If they'd like their plaque back, we're more than happy to give them their plaque back. But it's something that we want to make sure that we aren't just tearing out benches and putting new ones in and people not knowing. There's going to be some stumbles through this, that people have moved away or they come back, so there's some time frames. But we really want to take our time and do the program right and make sure that people are contacted and have an opportunity to purchase a new bench. Well, right now we are taking people who have heard about it and want a bench, and we have put them on a waiting list until we go through and mail out all the letters and make official contacts with everybody, as far as at least calling the numbers that we do have. We are not going to purchase any benches or start putting them in. So we hope that by the next month have everything in place as far as the catalog goes and contacts, that we can start moving forward with the new program. So when we did the two prototypes, we decided to change the blue color that we had to the new kind of blue color that we're going for our parks. Originally, we didn't think we were going to be able to do different types of colors, but we learned through the process that we could. So we want to change that feature. The other feature was that we had a nice prototype, and it was put on a nice board, and CRTC just wanted to lacquer it one more time and make it look real nice. So they'll be dropping that bench off in the next week, so you can come down to the Parks and Recreation Department, sit on it, look at it. They're gorgeous, and we're looking forward to putting them in our parks. And at that time, if you're interested, hopefully we'll have the catalog done, and or you can talk to staff about getting on the waiting list. The coolest thing I think about the benches is the way they were able to mold everything into it. So you can put vagrancy strips on it, you can put skate stoppers on it. At the bottoms, when you come down to the office and you look at the bench and see the city logos on them, with the plaques you can almost put anything on them. They were limited before to memorializing someone. This has opened up more to businesses if they wanted to advertise, local businesses. So there's just a lot you can do with the bench, and I think it's definitely one of a kind. I've been in the industry for a long time and looked at a lot of park amenity stuff, and the fact that we can purchase something and invest in something in our community that's going to last. People don't realize how much money we spend every year on vandalization and things that we have that just get ruined. So if we can protect the assets that we're investing into, I think that's going to be great.
I'm sure we are all eager to see these benches being put in around the city. Speaking of things being put up in cities, the city of Sequim installed permanent art pieces in the city's civic center.
Hi everyone, my name is Sharon Delabar and I'm part of the Sequim Arts Advisory Commission that was the group tasked with selecting the permanent art for the new City Hall. Like I was telling just a moment ago, we got the task in 2015 and decided to sort of let the building get lived in for a little bit. When we did that, we had picked some of the walls that would be used upstairs and on the main floor. And it's a good thing we let them live in the building for a while, because even after we selected the artwork that you will see tonight, yours, they were still making changes. Well, we really think we need this wall. So it was good that they had a chance to live in the building. It's like moving into a house. Until you live there a little bit, you don't know where you want the artwork. So tonight, I just want to, on behalf of the commission, welcome you all, tell you what a pleasure it has been working and looking and dealing with all of your artwork. I think we have a phenomenal, varied selection of pieces. I hope everyone has gotten the booklet. We put this together. This was done by Barb Hanna here at the city. If any of you saw the booklet that was done when we opened City Hall, this follows the same format. We're very proud of this because this is something hopefully we'll be able to use to promote art in the city as complimentary pieces. So be sure that you get your copy to take home. We will have these in City Hall, so people who come through to see the artwork will be able to pick one up also. We wanted you to come tonight first as a special thank you, and when I get through talking, I'm going to introduce Dennis, our mayor, say a few words, and then afterwards, please, we'd like you to come around and go upstairs and look around. We'll have all the rooms, we'll have some art commission members there. Turn the lights on so that you can see the artwork of all of your compadres here. And at this point, if Dennis will come forward, we'll have a few words from the mayor. And then I want you to mix and mingle and enjoy some of the food and libation, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there, folks. I'm glad you all are here. And I was talking to a gentleman earlier about this evening and what this is culminating in. And you know, you think about when you build a house, or if you're building anything, not necessarily a house, and you get down to the point where you're going to drive in the last nail or whatever, and it's finished. Well, the building, as Sharon talked about, has been here for like almost 3 years and occupied almost that long, and it has never had that finished feel. And that's what's happening tonight, as far as I'm concerned. Finally put this awesome art on the walls and for everyone to enjoy, not only you here for now, but all of us for the rest of our lives that come into this building. And then you point to the talent that exists in this area. This is just awesome. Sharon talked about all the various kinds of things and the various different themes, etc. It's just gorgeous. So I thank you very much for what you all done and contributed to the beauty of this building, and looking forward to enjoying it.
There are some wonderful pieces of art throughout the Civic Center. If you get a chance to visit Sequim's Civic Center, take a look around at all the wonderful new artwork being displayed. And here are some examples of the artwork. It's amazing to see such great artwork from our local artists and so many in our community. And now back to city news. Port Angeles Mayor Sissy Brooke makes a proclamation as the League of Women Voters celebrates their 50th anniversary.
There you guys are. Welcome, welcome. Come join me up here. So I am going to read this proclamation, and then I'll hand you guys the mic. So the proclamation in recognition of the 50th anniversary of the League of Women Voters of Clallam County. Whereas the National League of Women Voters, an outgrowth of the women's suffrage movement, was founded in 1920 as a nonpartisan civic organization to educate the public and to assure the success of democracy. And whereas the League of Women's Voters' presence in Clallam County dates back to the early 1967, when the group of women attended an organizational meeting held at Peninsula College. And whereas, under the guidance of the national and state leagues, the provincial league grew substantially in membership and support and achieved full status in 1968 as the League of Women Voters of Clallam County. And whereas the league provided important services to the community, including candidate and issue forums, voter registration, studies of important local issues, and attendance at the governmental meetings. And whereas the league encourages informed and active participation of all citizens in government, increases understanding of local, state, and national public policy issues through education, fosters civil debate based on substance rather than partisanship, and encourages the transparency of governmental bodies and commissions. And whereas the League of Women Voters of Clallam County is celebrating its 50th anniversary at a community event on March 18th, 2018. Now therefore I, Sissy Brooke, Mayor, on behalf of the City Council of Port Angeles, do hereby recognize the League of Women Voters' 50th anniversary and urge all residents of Port Angeles to pay great tribute and respect to the League of Women Voters for all they do to make our community healthy, vibrant, and strong.
After the proclamation, City Council members became honorary members of AmeriCorps for the week by taking the AmeriCorps Pledge.
All right, here's your proclamation. A proclamation in recognition of the AmeriCorps Week, March 11th through March 17th, 2018. Whereas service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our local challenges, and whereas AmeriCorps provides opportunities to nearly 75,000 Americans to serve their country through an intensive commitment to service at nonprofits, schools, public agencies, and community and faith-based groups all across the country. And whereas this year, over the course of their service year, AmeriCorps members that served in Port Angeles will have volunteered a collective 19,800 hours, dedicating their time to our community through programs that serve the youth of various ages and backgrounds, and our environment through community education. And whereas AmeriCorps enriches the lives of its members by building habits that create engaged citizens who are active participants in civic matters affecting their communities long after their service terms are completed. And whereas AmeriCorps members encourage collaboration and partnerships, leveraging millions of volunteers in service and acquiring the support of business partners to increase the effectiveness of their initiatives. And whereas AmeriCorps Week is an opportunity to recognize the dedication and commitment of the more than 1 million Americans who have chosen to serve their community through AmeriCorps and their community partners, and to encourage more Americans to follow in their footsteps in service. Therefore, I, Sissy Brooke, Mayor, on behalf of the City Council of Port Angeles, do hereby designate March 11th through 17th, 2018 as AmeriCorps Week in Port Angeles, and urge citizens to thank AmeriCorps members and alumni for their service and to find their own ways to give back to the city of Port Angeles. So thank you so much for doing all of this.
Thank you.
the members introduce themselves, and then the City Council has agreed to become AmeriCorps members for the week of next week, and they're going to get pinned with their A's and give the oath here with us tonight. This is a sampling of members. We have quite a few at a parenting class out at Stevens because we can't just not go to stuff, even when we're being recognized. So I'll let them introduce themselves and we'll get to the oath. You guys can feel free to take the oath with us if you want.
Hi, my name is Christine, and I'm serving out at the Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary offices.
Hello, I'm Kathleen McKeegan, and just like Christine here, I also serve at the Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary offices.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm serving at Roosevelt Elementary.
And I'm Amy Heath, and I'm also at Roosevelt Elementary School with great pleasure.
Okay, so if I could ask the council to stand with us while we take the oath. AmeriCorps, you can spread out so that the members can be seen. I'll say the part, you repeat after me. You don't have to raise your hands or anything, just say it firmly. I will get things done for America.
I will get things done for America.
To make our people safer, smarter, and healthier.
To make our people safer, smarter, and healthier.
I will bring Americans together to strengthen our communities.
I will bring Americans together to strengthen our communities.
Faced with apathy, I will take action.
Faced with apathy, I will take action.
Faced with conflict, I will seek common ground.
Faced with conflict, I will seek common ground.
Faced with adversity, I will persevere.
Faced with adversity, I will persevere.
I will carry this commitment with me this year and beyond.
I will carry this commitment with me this year and beyond.
I am an AmeriCorps member, and I'm going to get things done.
I am an AmeriCorps member, and I'm going to get things done.
Thank you.
City Council opened the floor for public comment on the ordinance to ban plastic bags. A big turnout gave opinions from both sides of the debate. However, a striking observation was made by observers in the crowd, noting that while City Council listened to public comments, they have already seemed to make up their minds. Before even hearing from the public, with 5-2 in favor of the ban, Sherry Kidd and Jim Moran opposed the ordinance.
Right now, as the ordinance is written, I could not support it.
Let's not fine the civic clubs. Let's not fine the charities. Let's not fine the businesses. Let's not drive our retail business out of the city. Let's work together and make things better for the entire community. Thank you.
If you would like to voice your opinion for or against the plastic bag ban, the City Council will have one more public hearing Tuesday, March 20th. If you would like to see the full City Council meeting, you can go to our YouTube channel by searching Port Angeles News in the search bar and find the last live streamed City Council meeting. And now let's take a look at our weather for the week. Looks like we can expect our week to be cloudy and rainy. Speaking of water in rainy form, City Council adopted water efficiency goals to maintain current levels and approved a water systems plan.
I'll make a motion.
All right, let's hear a motion then.
I move to approve the water supply and water demand goals for the city's 2018 to 2024 water use efficiency program as outlined in the proposed updated water system plan. And thank you for the presentation.
I second that. That was very loud.
All right, so we got a motion on the floor and a second. Any further discussion with council? All right, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is unanimous.
Port Angeles City Council also passed Ordinance 3.0.5.
All right, Council, what would you want to do?
I move that we approve the water system plan enabling formal approval by the Washington State Department of Health.
Second. Excuse me, second.
All right, so we got a motion on the floor to approve this. A motion and a second. Any discussion?
I really appreciate the presentation and your fielding our questions. And just so people know, some of my questions are coming at it from the perspective of how do we make our goals measurable, and how do we, understand where we're going in the long term with those things. So thank you for fielding those questions. I do have reservations about approving a plan that has not yet been made available in the council packet and more generally, but I will be voting yes for this despite that. But hopefully that's not a practice that we do much in the future.
I always love getting a peek under the lid at the technical work that goes into some of the just everyday runnings of city business. We take water for granted, and it's really impressive to see the work that you guys do. So thank you, it was a great presentation, and I also want to thank the Utility Advisory Committee for being under the lid, even that so that I don't have to.
All right. Any more discussion? I too want to thank you guys. That was a really good presentation. It really got the point across. I learned a lot, so I appreciate that. All right, so we've got the motion on the table and the second. And so the motion is to approve the water systems plan. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye. Mayor Brooke also appointed herself, as well as Lindsay Schroman Warren and Michael Meredith, to an ad hoc committee to review applications for the Planning Commission.
All right. One of the things that I guess, and I gathered that we were going to have a lot of volunteers for this, so trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. And I would think that folks that already are involved with the lodging tax in any way already get a kind of say-so on this, so it may be best to give other folks a chance on this one. I thought potentially that would be one way of, because like I said, participating in some of them may be one of that way. So, and then I know that some folks are a little bit light on their committee service, so maybe potentially adding that, the burden of participating in the committee. So with that said, I guess here's what I think we should do. Because like I said, I know that we have multiple folks, so I will get to choose folks, if that is okay with you all, using those guidelines. Is everybody in favor on those guidelines?
That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I can, I know, Mike, you were a little bit light on committee work, so I thought we would appoint you to that committee. And then I know, Lindsay, you have nothing to do whatsoever with the lodging tax.
That's true.
So I think, and so I'll serve on that committee as well. So if that works for you all, that'll be the ad hoc committee. You guys in agreement with that?
So,
Yeah.
City Council will attend a 4-part webinar open to the public. First one being Roles and Officials on March 20th from 11:30 to 12:30, and remaining 3 will be Finance, May 22nd, Planning and Development, August 1st, and Effective Leadership and Moving Initiatives Forward on October 11th. Once again, these will be open to the public, so if you are interested, please join. Thank you for joining us on another broadcast of Port Angeles News. If you would like to sponsor our news program, please contact us at info@portangeles-news.com. We count on viewer support to provide you with this program. Until next time.